I'm Freddy Cabrera. We're in Aguascalientes, Mexico, at ARGOSS, and we're going to take a tour of the entire product manufacturing plant. We're going to take a look at what it's all about, the production processes, how the magic happens inside ARGOSS, and also how, within the process, they use their FORZA Laser metal cutting machine.
Yeah, look, this is the material receiving area. This is where the supplier comes and we receive the material, whether it's structural steel. We have the sheet metal area.
Let's go that way.
Here, this is basically the receiving process. Here we load the sheets, the plates. Here we start the laser cutting, whether it's carbon steel or stainless steel. After that, it goes through other processes.
Exactly. But before this sheet metal process and before starting to cut and use the FORZA ONE, you have a team of designers and engineers who start to innovate with the products, right? What is this process about? Tell me a little about it.
Exactly. When we receive the job, we start in the engineering department, which is where we do the designs. We work in SolidWorks and AutoCAD. That's where we start making the designs. We convert that part of the design into files that the machine can read, which are the DXF files. So, the plant, everything we do is planned in 2 dimensions, which is how the machine reads it. So, from there we start making the cuts, whether it's sheet metal, plate, or any type of sheet material. That's where we begin cutting.
And depending on the type of product, we see if another process is done with these pieces or if they go on to welding. It all depends on the products, right?
That's right. It really depends on the part, on the specific process that the client wants or needs, whether it's just cutting, bending, welding, or maybe even some kind of coating. We handle all of that.
Now, what is the FORZA ONE cutting? What are these pieces for?
There's a machine that needs to hook onto some part of a material that they produce. So these pieces are just for dragging that type of material. Right now, we have a pretty high production volume of these pieces. From here, from this, it goes through a bending process, which is where the pieces, the part with the little hooks gets bent, and that's what drags the material along.
Okay, and do you do the bending process yourselves? Where or how works?
Yes, right now. We actually don't have a bending machine for this kind of size, unfortunately. We're currently cutting a 1/4 inch thick sheet. So, we send it out to be bent in a process using a hydraulic press.
Okay.
And that's where they do that kind of work for us.
Eric, explain what happens after metal cutting in the different processes. Where do we go next?
Well, there was also a process happening at the same time. It's part of the laser cutting process. We also have the machining part, which is basically the conventional machines. Here, on the left side, we have all the material that we purchase from suppliers and for making. Well, that process is where we end up making, well, any part, right? Any part that we could design ourselves, or if there's already a design that they give us, one they've already made, we manufacture and transform that raw material, so to speak, into a fully functional, 100% finished part.
Perfect. These machine parts are made with these machines here and that one there. That's automatic, right?
Yes, that's right. We have milling machines for the lathe section to make parts with circular shapes. And we also have the machining center, which is a CNC, and basically, it's an automatic machine. We load some programs, and the machine takes care of making the shape we specify automatically. There, all you have to do is just program the speeds, cuts, feeds, and all that. With this type of machine, we are able to make parts with larger dimensions, both in diameter and in length. They actually have the capacity to manufacture even bigger parts. This one here is a grinder, which is specifically used for any of the cutters we use, both in the machining center and in the milling lines. Well, every job causes some degree of wear. So, on this machine is where we resharpen the edge, And this one right here is for grinding, when then the part requires a very tight tolerance or a dimension that's very, very precise and extremely exact. Here, we do the grinding and we leave it, well, practically perfect to the measurement that we're given.
And this whole process of quality, perfection, and meticulous attention to detail is what gives Argos products that impact in the market and especially with their customers. Right, Eric?
Right.
So, are you thinking about getting much more sophisticated machines, maybe to further improve these processes?
Yes, that's right. We're actually thinking about moving on from all the manual processes. I mean, we're starting to transition to having the processes automated, that's right. That way, both the quality and the turnaround times will improve even more, and now the customer will leave 100% satisfied.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for today, and with the detail and perfection of the pieces made by Argos, we say goodbye from here in Aguascalientes. I invite everyone to subscribe, comment, and give us a like, because we'll have more content about laser cutting and the different industries that benefit from this technology. See you next time.